Luke 6, verse 22, going down. It says, "Blessed are you when men hate you, and when they exclude you, and revile you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, for indeed your reward is great in heaven. For in like manner their fathers did to the prophets. But woe to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. Woe to you who are full, for you shall hunger. Woe to you who laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. Woe to you when all men speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. But I say to you who hear, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you. To him who strikes you on the one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. But love your enemies, do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return. And your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful. Judge not, and you shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. And I'll stop right there, because he goes into a parable, and it talks, goes down, and he talks about the speck in the brother's eye. But what does this all lead to? Be merciful. I noticed today that the verse of the day from the U Bible, or YouVersion Bible, has that verse alone. Luke 6, verse 36. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful. But when you look at the whole context, which is spoken by Jesus on the sermon, in the Sermon on the Mount, giving the Beatitudes. He's going into the Beatitudes at that time, and he speaks about all this. And he goes all through it. He goes, be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful. So what does that mean? Well, does it mean that I only should show mercy to those I care about? No. Does it mean that I only should be nice to those who I love? No. Does it mean that I should be good to that person as long as they're being good to me? No. Completely the opposite. You show mercy and love to that person regardless of what that person's done to you. But you don't know what he's done to me. You don't know how he's hurt me. You don't know that he's hit me or sexually done this to this person or that person or even me. I know, but God does. Look at all what you've done. And God is showing mercy to you. It's not my words, it's His words. I don't say this. I don't say be merciful. He says be merciful. A lot of times I would like to hold grudges, but I can't, can I? I have a situation. I'll just give you a little situation before I close. I was kept out of my daughter's life for the longest time. And I just recently, in the last few years, in her life again. But 2 months ago, we saw each other for the first time since 2016, her high school graduation. She'd been told for years and years and years that I hated her or that I didn't want anything to do with her. She's been abused in different ways. And I wasn't there to help her. What do I do about it? I have to give it to God. I can't hold that person responsible. And I can't hold ill will towards her family or her mom or anything. But you don't know what they did to me. Yeah, I know. I like to say that. But it isn't good for me. And it isn't good for my walk with the Lord. So, be merciful. And you can only do that if you're born again. You can't do that if you're not His. That's why He gave all these different examples. You know, just because you do these things, sinners do that too. Sinners can do that, but they can't forgive. The difference between a Christian and a non-Christian is that a Christian, through Christ, is able to forgive. A non-Christian cannot forgive, regardless. It's not in his nature. I'm Dwayne, and I'm walking with you in Christ.